Vibe Show 97.9. What an amazing day to be here today. I'm telling you, I am so excited. And I know that everybody is excited. We have an amazing thing. When I tell you, you know what, we have a magical show tonight. I'm telling you, if you are tuning in tonight, you are in for a treat. Y'all make sure y'all keep it locked. Y'all know I'm always coming with something. It's the Vibe Show 97.9. Vibe Show 97.9. Welcome back. Listen, I am so excited, man. We have the Queen, Royalty, joining us on the show tonight. My phone's been blowing up for the last couple of days. I'm telling you, they excited and I'm excited. I'm talking about the one and only singer, songwriter, actress, public speaker. And we cannot forget, daughter of the legendary icon, singer, actress, the one and only Rhonda Ross. I'm talking about the one and only. Let's go and look. This smile is priceless. I'm talking about the one and only Rhonda Ross. Look at it. There it is right there. How you doing, Queen?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for those words. I'm doing well. I'm doing great.
Listen, from the bottom of my heart, from me and the team, I got to say thank you so much for this amazing opportunity for real.
Well, thank you. I want to start with, I'm a little concerned about our internet connection. So if it gets too bad, I'm going to like run in someplace else. Move my camera. So you let me know if it gets too bad. Okay.
I'll definitely let you know. Right now though, like I said, you know, this right here, and I have to tell you that this really means a lot to me. You know, having you on the show, I know that you have so much going on out here, and you know, within a lot going on in the world, you know, I still see you pushing out that love and pushing out that energy that we need, that positivity within all of this that's going on. So I really thank you for the service that you are putting in out here with just continuing to spread that love that's so needed right now in these tragic times.
I appreciate that. You know, it's rough out there in these streets right now. Like it's right. Or I should say, it's rough in here in these streets right now. Yeah. Like it's a lot to try to manage. Everything that's getting thrown at us is a lot to manage, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, even physically. And so I appreciate your words about I'm pushing out positivity, but truthfully, I'm just surviving, you know, like I'm trying to find the thoughts that I need to think and find the way that I need to be so that I can keep moving, because there's so much fear and so much confusion and so much anger and polarization and all of that. And so I'm trying to keep my head. Right. There's a poem that my father, Barry Gordy, loves. He had all his children learn it. It's called If by Rudyard Kipling. And I had my son memorize it also. I'm just going to give you the first couple lines.
Please.
It says, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. And it goes on. It is such a powerful poem, and it's been on my mind because I think that's where we are right now. We need to focus inside and get our own houses in order, so that we can rely upon them when the winds are shaking everything else around us.
Right.
That is the work that I feel like that's the work in many ways I've been born to do, but the work that I've been doing for the last 20 years, again, just to keep my house in order. And I'm appreciative if other people are, if it's supporting and inspiring other people, but I'm working it out.
Right. You know what though? I definitely feel you on that, because, you know, coming from the eras that we've come from, and seeing the dynamic that we're living in right now, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, I wake up sometimes and I ask myself, like, you know, what's going on? Do you think that some of this stuff, just coming from a middle, sharing thoughts, space, that a lot of this is strategically planned, or do you think that it's just God's work in a way of just cleaning the earth up from disappointment?
I don't know. How's that? I don't know what's going on. Everything feels crazy, and it feels like it feels like nothing we've ever experienced before. And as I was getting ready for your show, I actually heard a voice, because you know I hear them. And the voice said, what if this is just life? What if this is just, what if challenges and difficulties and fears and I'm sorry, there's a helicopter. Of course there's a helicopter, because I'm doing an interview. What if the fear and the pain and the loss and the fear of loss and all of those things, what if that was just part of what life is?
Right.
And what if, I think a lot of the difficulty is that we say in our minds, it should be different than this. It should be better than this. It should be easier than this. Something's gone wrong.
Right.
There's a strategy. Those people are against me. What if this is just life?
Right. That's a good way to look at it. I say that to myself sometimes too. I try to not watch so much of the news and all of the propaganda and all of this different stuff, that I feel like fear is they're trying to, you know, install fear in the world. Like you said though, you know, but that is a good way to think about it though. What if, you know, it's the way that it's supposed to be, in a way. Because
what it is. What if this is, well, first of all, it's not what if this is what it is. This is what it is.
What it is, right?
So, you know, you can like it, not like it, fight against it. You can do all that stuff. It is what it is. Right. I'm really careful with the news also. I try to get my actual news, like the facts. Like if you look at, you know, a newscast, there's the fact. And then there's like 99% of fluff around the fact.
Every time.
And look, they're a commercial entity, right? They're trying to get you to stay on their channel and not go to another channel. They're trying to get their sponsors to want to sponsor, work with them instead of another channel. So they have, for lack of a better word, ulterior motives, and to keep your eyeballs on them. And so what I try to do is I try to get the fact, whatever the fact is, this new mandate, that new whatever. And then when all the talking heads come on and try to talk about it, I click. I'm done.
Right.
Because, and quite frankly, real transparency, I don't even get the facts from the television news. I'll try to get it. I'll like Google something or get a breaking news on my phone or something. But I have a lot of difficulty watching the television news because it is so full of all of this other information, opinions, all of that stuff that I don't need I don't need all of that.
Right.
I need the few facts that I need to know. I need to know things. And then I need to be done. And I do think there's a book, darn it.
It's gonna come.
Ryan Holiday. He's written some great books, but one of his first books was called "Trust Me, I'm Lying." And he was talking about how he was an advertising professional, and how he used advertising to sell his products, but that how all of that, how fear is one of those things that it's shareable, it goes viral, it all kinds of stuff, and they use that on purpose. Because they're a commercial entity.
Right.
It's all right. I'm not mad at them. I'm a commercial entity too.
Right. That's right. You know what though?
Saying that, you gotta watch what people are doing.
Now I have to, because I just think that they're so dope. I have to compliment you on the earrings. Now you're really doing that right now. Seriously.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I love a big earring. I love it.
It looks. I love them. They're different. Are they leather?
These are leather, I believe. Leather? I don't know. There's a wonderful African market in Harlem, and West African. Lots of everything, fabrics and jewelry and. I mean, everything you can think of. And I get a lot of my stuff from there. And people are always asking me where I get them. So that's where I get them. I don't think they have an online presence. I mean, it's different booths, different sellers and vendors. And some of them might have an online presence, but for the most part, they don't. But it is called the Malcolm Shabazz Mart on Market on 116th Street. And if you're in New York, go check them out.
Absolutely. Now, we cannot negate the fact that you are royalty now. A lot of people love you, love your family. I have to tap in just a little bit because these opportunities are, to me, are blessings from God to be able to connect with people like yourself. Can we just talk about growing up?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Just growing up. I mean, for God's sakes, your mom's Diana Ross. Let's just be clear here. Let's be clear. Can we just kind of tap in a little bit on the experiences of growing up with Diana as your mom and just basically growing up in the business pretty much?
Yeah. So she's an incredible woman, and people know her for her glamour and her shine and
big hair and all that stuff.
Big hair and big smile and she's become iconic. And all of that is true. But what I think we should be applauding her for is for her heart, first of all, which is bigger than anyone's that I've ever met, her generosity, her love, but also her fortitude. A lot of what I was just talking about, trusting yourself. She, to me, is the epitome of that. She follows her own road, and and dances to the beat of her own drum, and always has.
Always have been like that.
Always has. Always has. And so when you ask, what does it feel like, or what was it like to be raised by Diana Ross? I was raised by a woman who trusted herself and followed her own lead, and shined her own light, and taught her children that we could shine our own lights. We didn't have to try to reflect her light. We had our own lights. And you know, and that if we learned and focused on what lit us up, it would light the world. And she told us that. And I mean, we witnessed that in her, and she told us that over and over and over and over again. And so to me, yes, there was glamour and luxury and those things, but to me, the blessing is that I was raised by a woman, a Black woman, who knew that about herself.
Right.
Who knew that about herself. And so that to me is the biggest blessing.
Right. And you know, just hearing that, because you know, we only get that outer surface of what we see, and that's why I just felt like it was so important to because I value this moment so much. It's just more than an interview, because to me, when you love someone, you know, and you grow up, you know, loving someone, and just always, I never would have thought that, you know, I would have this opportunity to just share this moment, you know. And I think that, you know, valuing these type of moments, because if you really think about it, to me, memories are so important. Those are the things, like when we think of happy moments, you know, I think that sometimes, you know, I don't want to ever lose those memories. I think memories are so important. And I think that what you said is carrying on in that light that you shine on a day-to-day basis as well, picking up those gems and hearing mom say that all the time. And now you're older now, and you're exploring on your own journey, yet shining your own light as well. So I just think that it's just dope. I think it's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, well, I feel really blessed. You know, that I had the space, I was given the space and time to find my own, you know, and to and to follow it. You know, I met this young man the other day, and we got to talking, and he said something about the fact that he was in school for accounting, and I said that was great. And he said, but his love was marine biology, but he knew he couldn't make a living in that. And I said, whoa. I said, you know, don't give up yet. I said, what are you in your 20s? He said, I'm 19. I said, oh my gosh, don't give up your dreams yet. And in that moment, I realized I was so blessed to have a parent, both my parents, all three of my parents, who constantly said, go for your dreams, do the thing that you love. It'll make way for you. You know, your gifts will make way for you. They'll make space for you. And not only will you make the income that you want to make, and you'll do all of those things, but you'll wake up excited for life. You know, I said to this young man, I said, you know, people say life is short, but life is long if you're not doing the thing that you want to do, the thing that gives you meaning and gives you purpose, you know, because he said, I don't hate accounting. I was like, oh my goodness, you know, life is long to wake up every day and do the thing that you don't hate, you know, like you want to, I mean, you want to try to fill your life with the things that light you up, you know. And so we were given, me and my siblings, we were given that gift by her, that space to look for it, you know.
At what point would you say, because and I think that that's dope that you know, you wasn't forced to, oh, well, you got to be this, or you have to be that because I was that. You know, and I think, you know, some parents, which, you know, intent may be well, but then at the same time, I think that it could be damaging as well, with kids, you know, with not really trying to tap in and find out what they really enjoy doing and support that logic. So I think that that's great. At what point would you say, though, that you decided or found the inspiration, because you wear multiple hats? You know, you're a singer, songwriter, actress, and as well as a public speaker. At what point, you know, would you say that you decided to get on your path with a vision on where you wanted to go with what you wanted to do with your life?
It's such a good question, and it's a little bit of a longer answer, but I'm gonna go
It's
for
the Vibe Show. We want the long
answer. I always knew that I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to express myself through the arts. I didn't know how that was going to show up. I was very encouraged by my family, my parents, to explore, to find it, to look for it. To, you know, was it music? Was it acting? Was it writing? And I was able to do that throughout my young years.
Right.
But also during that time, starting around the age in my 20s, maybe even my late 20s, I realized that I really had a need to figure out some of the things that you and I have been talking about, even pre-show, some of the things we were talking about. So in my late 20s, I was out in Los Angeles, and I was working as an actress, and things were sort of not going my way. And I started to feel purposeless. I started to feel, it was not an easy time. It was not an easy time. And it was at that time that I started reaching out for answers, and I started reading all the books, the Wayne Dyers and all the self-help, all the personal growth. And I started finding a lot of Bible. I read the Bible. I read everything I could find to say, I feel like I should feel better than this. And I feel like it looks like it's everyone else's fault, but I have a sneaking suspicion that the power to change how I feel is inside of me. And that really started at the end of my 20s. At the same time, I was still exploring the arts. I was married at that time. My husband is incredible, Rodney Kendrick. He's an amazing pianist, but more than that, he understands the practice of the arts and how the arts can heal, and self-expression can heal. So I had his words in my ears. I had Abby Lincoln's words in my ears. Abby was an incredible jazz singer, songwriter, poet, activist. She also was saying to me, you know, you need to, don't just sing other people's songs, write your own songs. So I had those two words in my ears. And then I had these books I was reading, and together they started to form something. I didn't even realize that that's what was being formed, but they started to form my personal practice. And so for 20 years, I've been having this practice of personal growth, of self-inquiry, of knowing that the power is inside of me, of knowing that whenever I'm down, and I will, full disclosure, today was a hard day for me.
Really?
We'll talk about it later. I don't want to get off track, but yeah, today was one of those days that was challenging. And but I knew that I have the power and the control to change how I'm seeing that situation. And all of that merged with my music. And so for the past 20 years, even though it looks like I'm wearing all these different hats, the truth is I'm wearing one hat. And that hat is this hat of personal power. That hat is this hat of knowing that the buck stops with me, and that no matter what anybody is doing, you asked earlier, was it strategic? Doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter, because I I have built a bubble of well-being around myself, and it doesn't matter who comes at me with what. And that lesson and that practice is what's in my music, and that is what's in my writing. That's what's in my public speaking. So it looks like all these hats, but it's really one hat, you know. And it took me a while to realize that, oh, I only got one hat here. I just spoke to a girlfriend yesterday, and she said, I know singing is your passion, but you know, you're really good at inspiration. I said, singing's not my passion. I said, I love to sing, but singing's not my passion. Inspiration is my passion, and I do it through singing. Inspiration is my passion, and I do it in my parenting. Inspiration is my passion. Personal power is my passion, and I do it in my friendships, you know. So that's all. That's my long answer. I love it. I've been doing this for a long time, but it's really all one thing. It really is all one thing. And I bet you, if you look at your life with all the things that you do, if you boil it down, you will find that you only do one thing. I bet you.
And I'm sitting here, and now I'm telling you, Ron, I'm taking all this in right now, and we definitely gonna talk off air as well, because I'm telling you right now, I'm loving this because and it's inspiring me, and I'm learning some things too, because and I love you've really been pushing that PP and that personal power, and I don't think that a lot of us realize the control factor that we all possess within self. And, you know, it took me a long time to really understand and gaining control of that power that we have, because we give so much of that power away and allow so many people to control our emotions and talk us out of our dreams and or ideas that we may have had or whatever. I just think that is so important that you do push that energy out there, because I just think that that's important. PP. I love that. We need to get some PP shirts made. You probably got some already.
That's right. I think it's real. You know, people are walking around feeling depressed, feeling anxious, feeling sad, feeling scared. And it's all because they feel like somebody else or something else is in control of their life and in control of their well-being and in control of their joy, you know, and in some cases that is the case because we've given them that control. And a lot of times, you know, but you can take it back. You can take it back. And it's quiet. It doesn't mean run out and quit your job. It doesn't mean, it just means quietly. I just was doing, I promise you, today was a hard day. I got woken up this morning. A friend of mine was really struggling with depression and anxiety. Couldn't catch his breath, really struggling. And I was trying to find the words, you know, and I wasn't finding them. And we talked on and off throughout the day. And then I started to spin. Right? There's so many things. And so I was spinning today. And yet there was just this quiet voice that said, you know how to stop spinning. You know how. And why are you spinning? You're spinning because of your thoughts. You have a thought. The thought is, I'm not safe. The thought is, that person's in charge. The thought is, I can't go after my dreams. The thought is, it's too late to go after my dreams. The thought is, I failed at going after my dreams. The thought, whatever the thought is, it's the thought. And you're thinking it almost without even knowing you're thinking it. And it's spiraling you out. So you have to sit quietly enough and still enough to, one, catch the thought. And then I study this woman online, Byron Katie. I can, you know, you can find all that stuff on my website, but she talks about questioning the thoughts. You question them because they're not true.
Right.
You know, they're not true. But we think them without questioning them. We just allow them to be. And the next thing we know, we're spinning out of control. You know, we're depressed, we're scared, we can't catch our breath. So I had to do the work, and it was about 2 hours before the show started with you, and I had to get ready, and I had to go put on my lashes, and I had to, and I said, you know what, I'm taking 20 minutes to go get my head together. Taking 20 minutes to sit here and pull out a couple of those thoughts that got me spinning.
Right.
And I've been spinning all day. I'm going to stop it. I know for a fact that I have the control of that. Right. It feels like I got woken up with a scary phone call, so that's why I'm spinning. No, I'm spinning because of my thoughts. So I can control that. Right. And I took the time. It took longer than 15 minutes. It took about, 30 minutes. And then I rushed in the shower so I could get ready for you. Right. But the truth is that I have that ability to do that. And those scary thoughts will come back. They will come back, and I'll do it again. Right. Do it again. I have the ability.
I think too that I don't think that with hearing you say that, I think that's another part of the problem with a lot of us, because we're so busy trying to grind it out.
Yeah.
And that we don't that self-time to just do nothing and just, you know what I mean?
Grind it out, power through. Yeah, I don't do any of that stuff. I feel all my feelings. Right. I cry all my tears. Right. And then I sit and I look at it. And I say, is this really, I look at what I'm scared of, like that thing, Right. So as you mentioned, my birthday was a couple days ago, and yes. I got some wonderful gifts. I turned 50. I never have a
birthday comment.
What?
Did you see my happy birthday comment?
Yes, I did. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I threw myself a little get together. I rarely do that. And some people gave me some gifts, and I actually didn't even open them till today because, So anyway, but I opened some today, and they made me smile because they were all things that are just my kind of thing. So books on, like, the books about the power of love, and there's a Pema Children book, the things that scare you, like all of these things, like these practices that people have, like people know how to deal with this. We all have these thoughts, right. And but there are ways to capture them, but it's not about pushing through them. It's not about ignoring them. Right. It's not about pushing them away. It's about feeling them, I believe, feeling them and then questioning them. Right. Is that true? Is that thought true? And quite frankly, even if it is true, is it helpful?
I know, right?
Yeah. Is that a thought that I need to have right now? Is that the thought that's making me spin out of control? That's making me not want to get out of bed? That's making me feel fearful or tearful? Right. So I do all of that. I do think we all, I know we all have that power. We rarely exercise it. Right. We rarely exercise it.
What inspired, which I absolutely love, and again, feel like this is something that is so needed. What inspired the force within articles? I mean, you really be like dead on, hitting it on point. Like, and I love it. Like, what inspired that, though?
Well, I have a lot to say about that too.
Let's go.
Well, first of all, I write as part of my self-care practice. Uh-huh. So as I talk to you about sitting and being silent and feeling and questioning and the inquiring, is that true? Is that all of that? I do all of that, but it's easier for me to do that writing than it is for me to do that just thinking. Right. Sometimes when I'm just thinking, I spiral and I kind of can't get my footing. But when I'm writing, it's helpful. So journaling has been in my practice for years and years and years, over 20 years, right. Probably longer than that, long time. So that's the first thing. So I'm a writer. sometimes that writing takes the form of just my journal, which I keep. Sometimes they become songs, which are some of the songs that you know, and sometimes they're poems. I even some of my writing even became a screenplay. So my writing just kind of becomes what it's going to become. And
Right.
sometimes they are sort of articles. So Facebook has started a new platform called Bulletin, bulletin.com, and it's for writers, freelance writers, to have a platform where they can share their ideas.
Right.
And they approached me and asked if I wanted to be part of their inaugural group of writers that were going to be on the platform. And I said, yes, I do.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
right up my alley.
Yeah, right. And so I knew that I wanted to write about personal power, because that is, as we've been discussing, that is my obsession. I'm always thinking about it. I'm always talking with my friends about it, or in the case of that young man, strangers. It doesn't matter. I'm always talking about it. I'm always thinking about it. I write about it in my journal. I talk about it with my son, with my husband. It's just something that that I'm fascinated with. So I knew I wanted to write about that. So as I started putting together these articles, I realized that a perfect title would be The Force Within, because we each have a force within us that will guide us and heal us and soothe us. And we don't always tap into it, and we don't always listen to it, get quiet enough to listen to it, but it is there, and it is there forever and for always. And so I called it The Force Within, and I started writing these articles. What I found so interesting, it's been about 6 weeks. What I found so interesting is, in my mind, because I write so much,
Right.
I just assumed I would write a whole bunch of articles and then just kind of drop them twice a week.
Right.
What I have been finding is that even though I have some articles kind of in the in the vault, the articles that I've been posting that you're reading, I usually write that morning.
Oh, really? So these are like fresh. Wow.
What I'm noticing is that I feel like something's on my heart
at that moment,
and I have to write it, and I write it, and I do my best to proofread it, and then I push send, and I'm done.
Wow.
And I gotta tell you, that has been a blessing for me. I didn't expect that 6 weeks ago. Like I said, I thought I was going to do it a different way. This has been so you say they're on point. I think they're on point because they're on point for me in that moment. They are exactly where I am in that moment.
And and I can feel it. I can feel it, because you could just tell when it's just organic, fresh, just fresh off the stove.
Yeah.
Just fresh. And I didn't know that. I wouldn't have thought that they're just coming straight just at that moment. This is it right now. This is what I'm feeling
right now.
This is for y'all. Wow.
That's exact. I didn't expect that myself. I had a different plan.
Right.
I got, like you said, I got a lot to do. So I was like, well, I'm going to front load these and just kind of drop them and whatever. And it doesn't work. And I'll tell you why. One of the reasons it doesn't work. Because I wrote an article that was like, now that we're coming out of the pandemic, and now that the pandemic is behind us, and I went to post that thing 2 weeks later, and everything had changed.
Here's another variant that made it from Egypt that flew over.
How about that? How about that? Right. Everything had changed. It had been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we were talking Delta and everything had changed. And I said, oh, this isn't going to work. You can't do that. Right. You can't do that. And so it's going to have to be fresh off because not only does that feel better to me, but it doesn't work. Things are moving too fast.
Yes.
Things are moving too fast, and life is moving too fast. So I appreciate you saying that they've touched you. It means a lot to me. Right. It means a lot to me. And if any of your listeners are are interested, it's bulletin.com is the entire website, but mine is rhondaross.bulletin.com, but you can get to it through my website, which is probably the easiest way, therhondaross.com. I see you're putting it on the screen, which I appreciate. Therhondaross.com, and then follow the links to The Force Within, and you'll get to them. All the articles are there.
You know, let me ask you this. With having a lot going on, having a family, your family, your personal family, how do you balance it all, you know, with doing so many things, staying active, pushing out positive energy, being that listening ear for friends, and being that support system, being mom, being wife,
Yeah.
Being the singer, actress, the public speaker. How do you balance it all?
Not sure that I do, but but I try to prioritize. That's the best I can say. I try to figure out in each moment what is really the most important thing.
Right.
If I'm with my husband, that relationship, that's what's important. I'm not trying to be with him and on my phone at the same time, or be with him and I don't know, just kind of not focus. I try to stay focused and I try to stay present. Same thing with my son. Same thing if I'm talking with a friend. Some things can't get done. You know, right. I got a sink full of dishes right now that some things don't get done. Right. But to me, you know, folding the clothes or the dishes or sweeping the floor or whatever it is not more important than my relationships or my sleep, or, you know, or my meditation.
I need to work on the sleep thing. I just feel like I'm not finished. I got to get this done. You know, let me get this last graphic thing done. I got to just do it. I got to work on that.
We are in a culture that says getting it done is more important than taking care of yourself, and I don't agree.
Right.
I don't agree. And I mean, I get it. You're a self-made man. You got to do what you got to do, and I get it. But I also think we are taught to put our own self-care and our own needs on the back burner, and I think that it has led to a lot of what we're experiencing now in terms of the powerlessness that we feel that we have, or in terms of the lack of self-care, the lack of mental health, the fear, the anxiety, the health problems, all of those things. Sleep is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Diet is huge. I see you drinking water. Drinking water is huge. Moving your body in terms of exercise is huge. Supplements and all of those things, huge, huge, huge. We put all of that. We somehow think that that is a luxury that I'll do when I finished all my work.
Yeah.
But it's really not. It's really not. And I have trouble sometimes reminding myself of that, but that's a practice that I work on, because it's not. So anyway, so how do I balance it? I try to prioritize. I try to really know what's important. I try to not deplete myself.
And when you say what's important, you mean what's important at that moment. If it's your son, you know, or it's your husband, or
I do mean at that moment. I do mean at that moment, because it shifts. Right. You know, where I need to be putting my focus shifts. For instance, I had work I thought I was going to do today. I wanted to get ready for your show, but I knew about two hours before your show, I knew that 1 hour before your show. It's actually an hour and 15 minutes before your show. I knew that the most important thing for me to do right then was to take care of myself. Right. Because I had been, like I said, kind of scrambling all day, and I didn't take the time all day. And I've been pushing it off and making calls and caretaking,
right.
And all of that. And I looked up, and it was an hour and 15 minutes till your show. And I said, I'm going to take 15 minutes to sit and do the work that I know I can do to kind of untangle these emotions. Now, it took more than 15 minutes. It took 30. And so now I had 45 minutes to get ready for your show. And so, look, I made it on time. I'm all good.
That's
but
right.
my point is, in that moment, to me, that was more important. And I'm sure there's a lot of people in that same position who would have said, no, push through, power through,
Right.
go get yourself together, go do whatever. I don't know what, do something. And so, but I knew that was my work right then. That was my work. Yeah.
Let me ask you this too. It's this big thing now with, and I know that you've been doing homeschooling, but I would like to get your thoughts on, because I just feel like things are just so out of control right now with trying to decide, whether the kids should wear masks going to school, and we got debates and parents out there rioting and doing all type of stuff behind this. I just would like to get your thoughts on the difference with homeschooling and kids actually going to school. How effective can it really be?
Well, first of all, I think everyone needs to, outside of the COVID stuff for a second, just in terms of education, the education of your child, I think everyone needs to do what works best for their family.
Right.
So homeschooling works best for us, or has worked best for us for the last 7 years.
Right.
But that's not the case for everybody. And that's not the case for every parent, and it's not the case for every kid. And so I am a big proponent of, have I mentioned, of personal power? And so, so I really, that doesn't mean my personal power over you. That means, you got yours and I got mine. So we all get to do what works best for us and what's healthiest for us. So, some people pre-pandemic, people who had no interest in homeschooling, then they shouldn't homeschool. So that's fine. For me and my family, it has been, even pre-pandemic, a blessing for us, for these reasons. So many. One, oh my God, so many. Okay, where do I begin? My boy, as I think all children are, is very unique. He excels in some areas, and he needs more help in other areas.
Right.
And he was in school from the age of 2, in preschool, from the age of 2 through kindergarten, so the age of 5. And I found 2 through 5, I found that the schools he was in 2 different schools, they didn't seem to acknowledge the places where he was ahead of the students, nor did they work well with the places where he needed more help than the other students.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So if he wasn't somehow right in their sweet spot, they didn't know how to deal with him. That was the case academically. That was the case behaviorally. He's very creative and silly and funny and full of energy, and they did not appreciate that. And so by the time I spent from age 2 to 5 sort of arguing with them, again, 2 different schools, many different teachers, arguing with them about his value. And I got tired of it.
Right.
And I said, I don't want to spend my time arguing about his value.
Right.
And when I made the decision to homeschool, all of my other friends, their kids were traditionally schooled, and they tried to talk me out of it. And they said, oh, no, you just don't have the right school. Here's the right school. Right. And I said, well, that may be. And that may have been. I don't know. I just said I didn't want to spend year after year after year after year looking for that right school. And you can't know if it's right or not till you've signed up and paid the tuition, and you know what I mean?
Right,
and
right.
Come and gone. And so now here you are in January, and now it's not the right school. You got to find someone else. So I just didn't want to go down that road. So for us, homeschooling has meant that the levels of the different subjects are tailored to him. If he needs more help writing, then he can get that. If he is excelled in math, then he can go there. Right. So that was one reason. I mean, I could go on and on. I know our time is passing, but we also gave him languages as a young child. So he's fluent in 4 languages, including yes, including English. So he's fluent in Spanish, French, and Chinese. And I wanted time to be able to do that for him. I wanted space to be able to do that for him. I didn't want him to spend 8 hours a day in one of those languages, because the first school he went to was a Spanish immersion school. The second one was a Chinese immersion school, but it didn't leave room for the other languages. And so so that was one of the reasons. Like we travel as performing artists, my husband and I. We wanted to be able to take him with us, and so we just had a lot of reasons that we homeschooled. That was all pre-pandemic. When the pandemic hit and the schools closed, many of my friends who were traditionally schooled called me for advice. A lot of them were terrified, but a lot of them found over time that they really enjoyed, one, the extra time that they got with their kids. They enjoyed having an eye on what the children were learning and how the children were engaging with the teachers, how the teachers were engaging with the children, all of that. They really enjoyed that. Of course, there's a lot of benefit to being in a social environment like a school. You get a lot of you learn a lot about social cues and negotiation with other people and all of that. So that's really good. But I find that I can give that to my son without a school setting. It's very possible to do that, and so I do that. Now to answer your actual question, now that people are going back and having the whole mass discussion, I'm not in it, because we're not schooled in that regard. He does take classes, but all last year those classes were on Zoom. Now they're going back in person, but I've decided to keep them mostly on Zoom for this year, mostly because things still feel up in the air to me. So I'm doing that. So I haven't really had those discussions about masks and all of that. And I don't know the answer. I know we want our children to be safe. I think there's a balance. This is what I think. I think there's a balance between being safe, health in terms of your physical health, in terms of the virus, and being safe in terms of your mental health. And I think there's a seesaw that there's a tightrope we're all trying to walk. And I don't know the answer of how to walk it, but I know we're trying to walk it. Children need to run and play and engage with each other and not be afraid and all of that, as much as they need their physical health to be cared for. So I don't have the answer. Did you think I was going to have an answer? Because I don't have one. I do not have an answer.
I just wanted to see where you was going to go with it.
I went all the way around.
Nobody really had an answer, to be honest with you.
I'll tell you what. I'm sorry to cut you off. My son's birthday is a week before mine, August 7th. And I gave him a little party. And it was both a pool party, and then after that we all went to the trampoline park. Do you know those trampoline parks?
Yeah, and I seen you doing your thing. You was pretty high there. I
was. I tell you, being there brought me to tears.
Really?
Because there were children, adults too, but children running and jumping and playing and laughing. There were no devices. There was no, running and jumping and screaming and laughing. And I thought, God, we as a human race, but these children need this.
Right.
They need this. They need to run and jump and laugh and feel free and throw their bodies around.
Yeah.
And with the lockdowns over the past 18 months, we just haven't had a chance to do that the way that we as a culture are used to doing that. And I was just so happy. It brought me to happy tears. I was so happy to witness that, and that they were getting a chance to do that, you know, and I was just hoping, you know, that we can continue that we won't, you know, lock back down in such a way that that they won't be able to do. They need to do that. So I think, you know, to whatever extent you can give that to your kids, you should. And whether that's in traditional school or non-traditional school, or whether that's masked or not masked, or whatever it is, they need that. They deserve that, to run and play and jump and scream and laugh and throw their bodies around.
I got a fan question here. They wanted this question is actually from Nebraska, and they Maryland from Nebraska wanted to know, what's a Ross family gathering like?
They're good. Okay, so
with a bunch of singing going on and a whole bunch of stuff?
Not really. We don't really sing, but we laugh and laugh and laugh. We really, really get along. My family and myself, my siblings, my mother, my fathers, both of them, my mother, my siblings, and all of our kids. We get along so well. We make each other laugh. We are all grown folk, and yet we choose to spend our time together, our vacations, and, you know, everything, Christmases, New Year's,
really?
birthday. Yes, as a group, all of us. They were all at my birthday 2 days ago.
Wow.
Every single one. Yeah, all their kids. And a couple years ago, my mother got a Lifetime Achievement Award from the American Music.
We all know about that. Trust me.
We were all on the stage and all that. And a girlfriend of mine said to me, you know, that was like your Wednesday night. And I said, that was our Wednesday night. Like, that's what we do. Like, we roll like that. We laugh. We play together. We really, really dig each other. You know, really do. And so a Ross get together is that, you know, Tracy is hilarious. She's as hilarious as one would think she is. We love each other's kids. We parent very similarly. We don't argue. We don't fight. There's no drama. I don't know.
Wow.
It's good. It's fun. We have a really good time. And even when we were in the strict lockdowns, you know, we would do it on Zoom. Right. You know, we like each other.
That's awesome. Seriously. What would you say has been the most memorable moment for you in your career that you have experienced thus far that has been the most memorable, though? Like, man.
So there's a lot and it's hard to choose, but I will say one popped in my head when you asked the question. And so I was opening for my mother. I opened for her on tour often. Yeah, see all these things you didn't know. So when she goes on tour, the last maybe 3 years, might be a little bit longer, when she goes on tour, she has her band and all her stuff. I bring my band on and on the road, and we do about 15 or so minutes in front of her, you know. And so so it was about 2 years ago. I had my band. We were in Canada, and for some reason, so I have a very small band. I have keyboards, bass, drum, and at that time, 2 background singers.
Well, let's shout them out right quick. Let's give them some love. Shout.
Okay. I got Keisha Gums background. I got Terrell Tipton background singers. They're doing their thing. At that time, it was Lefty Thompson, Lefty Thompson on drums. It was, I'm trying to remember who was there. Terry Burris on keys, and it was Levon. I just blanked on his last name, and he's gonna kill me.
He's gonna get you.
Anyway, he wasn't on this gig. That's why I forgot. Okay, anyway, but it was Levon on bass. Levon wasn't there. I take it back. Levon wasn't there. Okay, so what happened was Levon couldn't be there that night. We had 2 nights in Canada. Levon couldn't be there. That was the whole point. He's on bass. Levon Fulmore. He couldn't be there. So he was on bass. So when we knew he couldn't be there, right? When we knew he couldn't be there, I said we were only going to have drums and keys. So I said to Lefty on drums, instead of playing the drum kit, can you play the cajon? You know the cajon? It's that box you sit on,
yes.
Percussionist sits on, and they kind of back it up and they play it between their legs, right? So I said, can you play the cajon? And he said, yeah, I'll play the cajon. I said, cool. So we had 2 nights in Canada. The first night, the show was at 9:00, and we went on and we did our show, and it was great. And then the next night, the show was at 8:00. And we were backstage about to come on stage, and all of a sudden we looked up, and Terry Burr, oh, he's gonna hate that I'm telling this story, but too late. Terry on piano wasn't there. Right? Because he had gotten mixed up because the night before, right? He's always punctual. He's like, the fact that he wasn't there, we knew it was a big problem because he's always on time. And the problem was the show was about to start. It was like 2 minutes till showtime.
Right.
Time to go get him. No, we were in a big casino. Okay. So, so anyway, we had to make a decision in that moment. What are we going to do? It was me, Lefty on the cajon, and 2 backup singers. That's it.
What?
And I remember looking at Keisha and Terrell, and we were like, let's go. And we walked onto that stage and did the show a cappella.
Come on.
And harmonies and everything.
That's what I'm talking about.
Harmonies and everything, a cappella. And it was the most amazing moment, because if I had even 5 minutes to think about it, I would have figured something else out to do. I don't know what I would have done, but we didn't have any time. And it's like one of those things where you come to a cliff and you're looking down, and all of a sudden you realize you have wings. That's what I remember saying. When that set was over, we went backstage. I was on a high like no other. I just said, we just flew. We trusted and we flew. We jumped off the cliff and realized that we had wings.
Wow.
It was like nothing I've ever experienced. And you know what? It reminds me of what we're in right now. This idea of we don't know what's going to happen in that next moment, that next second. It looks like a cliff. It looks like we're going to fall to our death, but we have wings. We have wings. And we wouldn't have known we had wings. We wouldn't have known we had wings if we weren't thrown off the cliff.
Ooh, Rhonda.
That's what that was. It was amazing. And I remember saying to them, I said, everything opened up. There may be a record in this. There may be an album in this. Now I know I can do it. Now I know that, it was life-changing.
Because you're so used to having everything that you need. And at this one time, you didn't have everything that you need. No. What you going to do?
What you going to do?
And you done it.
What you going to do? You don't have nothing you need. And yet you have everything.
Everything that you need. Whoa. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, man.
It was huge for me. I was on a high for days. It was huge. You have everything you need. We have, going back to personal power and the force within, we have everything we need inside of us. Every single thing for every single challenge, for every single cliff that it looks like we're going over. Doesn't mean the cliffs aren't real. The cliffs are real, but we got wings, baby. We got wings.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. Man, like, woo, Lord. Now we got some. You got some things coming up now. Now you also got out now, which I need this. Now we got Thank You, and we got the Dances remix. That's out now.
So those are my mother's. Those are my mother's CDs. My mother's got a single out right now called Thank You. It's amazing. Check it out. Go to DinahRoss.com. Check it out. And the singles Thank You, and her record is going to drop. I don't know when it's going to drop. I'm going to leave it alone. I don't know when it's going to drop, but it's going to drop soon. And that the record's also called Thank You. I was blessed to collaborate on one of the tracks. The track is called All Is Well. Gorgeous song. I co-wrote it with my mother and a writer named Fred White. And I love that song. Matter of fact, it's become a mantra for me, again, with everything that's going on. I just sing it to myself, all is well, all is well. I sing it to myself. And then I wrote a song for my mother. The birthday, her birthday's in March, and we had just locked down, and 2020. And I wrote a song for her called "Count on Me," and it was and I shared it with her for her birthday, and she loved it so much she ended up singing it. So on her record. So I wrote that song, "Count on Me." It's on her record, and she asked my husband Rodney Kendrick to play it and to co-produce it. So
that's amazing.
It's a family affair. Right. So I have those two songs on the record, but it is her record. And let me tell you something, it is very good. It is what one expects of a Dinah Ross record, and then some, and then some, and then some. And I feel like it's the balm for what we're in right now. It's really a special product.
Now, August 20th,
yeah.
If the World Just Danced.
Okay, all of that is my mother's stuff.
We giving moms major plugs right now. People need to know this stuff is coming, Ron.
It's a great song too, by the way. And we were, jamming to that song a couple months ago as a family. She's made a million. She's made some really great songs on this project. Really, really great.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and we don't have a release date or anything.
There may be one, but since I don't know it, I don't want to misspeak.
Yeah, I won't put no misinformation out there. Then people hit me up. It ain't out yet, man.
That's right. Yeah.
What can we expect, projects wise? What can we expect from you?
So, so right now I'm having a great time writing the articles, The Force Within, that we talked about. I will say it again.
Are they dropping? They dropping daily?
They drop twice a week. Yeah. So I would urge people to go to my website, therhondaross.com. You've been putting it, and follow the links to The Force Within. And that has been like we just talked about, just a blessing to have that those words flow through me. Other than that, I got stuff on me. Other than that, I have a couple other projects. There's a musical that I'm a part of called Together Apart. You can get that on my website. Also on my Instagram profile. The link is in the bio.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that is streaming, I think, until the 20th. It is a project, 10 mini musicals. I'm in one of them, but they're all very good. 10 mini musicals about this lockdown time that we've had, and how we've connected during that time, how we've laughed during that time, how we've cried during that time, how we've found our way during that time, and little kind of vignettes, tiny musicals. I'm very proud of the one that I'm in, and it's called Find the Music, and it's very special. So people can stream that. It's I believe it's free to stream, but there's a donation that is asked for, and that donation goes towards the Actors Fund, which helps the actors and the other crew members who have been out of work during this time. So the Actors Fund. So Together Apart, you can find that on my website as well as my my Instagram bio. And then other than that, musically, my husband and I are writing and in the studio as we speak.
What?
And I'm putting together a CD that I'm already very proud of, and really, really excited about. So we're doing that. And people can keep up with that on my website. If people go to my website and sign up for my newsletter, that goes out regularly, always telling everybody what I'm up to. Yeah, therhondaross.com. Yeah.
What's the best advice for any inspiring human that want to get into this entertainment business, because there's so many layers to the entertainment business, acting, singing, writing, musicians, any advice that you could share to anyone who's thinking about getting into this business or wanting to follow your footsteps in any way?
Well, I would say number one, get really clear about why you want to get into the business, what it is about the business, what it is about you, what is it that you want to say in whatever form you're saying it, because I hope that's not too loud. I hear a helicopter. I think people think it's get rich quick. I think people think it's get famous quick. And I don't think that's a good reason to get in it. I think that will lead to nothing but disappointment and frustration and sort of empty promises and all of that. So I'm always talking about the why. There's a wonderful book called Start with Why by Simon Sinek. Yeah, Start with Why. Why meaning WHY, right? Start with why. And really it's about what is it that's in your heart that you want to share with the world. And why do you want to share that with the world? And if you get clear on that, and if that becomes your North Star, then whether you get famous or not won't matter. Whether you make a whole bunch of money or not won't matter. Whether you get a whole bunch of followers on IG won't matter. Whether things go viral won't matter. It won't matter because you'll be doing your work, right? Your life's work. And so I think that's the key. Get clear about that. And then once you're clear about that, follow your, I'm sorry, this is so loud. Follow your inner compass, your force within as to how best to do that. But it's not about fame, and it's not about how many likes did you get. And I think we've gotten way off track with that.
Facts. And for anybody, and I mean, it's, we got so much going on, and we've touched on so many different things, and you've dropped so many gems. Anybody that may be low in spirit, anybody, because it's been tough times. People are out of work. People have lost a lot of loved ones.
Yeah.
People are depressed, lonely. Is it any warm words that you could leave them from Rhonda Ross for our listeners and viewers right now to lift their spirits?
Yeah. Well, I would say you're not alone. You are not alone. You are never alone. Not only are we all in this storm,
right?
So you're not alone. Reach out to your friends and your family. Take care. Prioritize yourself and your needs and your health and your mental health and your heart. And know that you're not alone in terms of people around you, but you're also never alone. in terms of spirit, God, spirit that lives inside of you. We're not alone. We're not out here by ourselves. It can look like that sometimes, but we're not. And that's why I talk about the force within, because there is a force inside of us, a spirit inside of us that loves us and guides us and is here with us and for us and here to heal us and soothe us and all of that. It's here. So what I would say to someone who is struggling, after you realize that you're not alone, realize that you have power. You have the power to tap into that force that's inside of you, that spirit of love that's inside of you, that spirit of healing that's inside of you. You have the ability to do that. And there are practices that will help you do that. And many people know them. Go look for them. Google it. Go read about it. I don't have time to read all the time. So I listen to books on tape. I listen to podcasts. I search meditations. It's out there. It exists. People have found their way. People who have felt worse than you're feeling right now have found their way. So you can too.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Let's put those social platforms out there in ways that people can actually connect with you. And anything else that needs to be plugged in. Let's go on and give them those that information right now.
I so appreciate that you've been putting them up for the whole show, but I'm the Rhonda Ross everywhere. So my website is therhondaross.com, and all my social media is the Rhonda Ross.
She made it easy for us, y'all.
What'd you say?
So you made it easy for us.
I made it easy for you. So yeah, that's what it is. If you're interested in the articles, The Force Within, that we've been talking about, you can access them through my website at therhondaross.com. But I made it really easy.
She made it easy, y'all. She didn't give us one of the complicated handles, ways to find her with eight different handles.
That's right.
For us. We love you for that. Listen. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. This has been a magical experience for me that I will treasure forever. I wanna thank you from the bottom of my heart and tell you that we love you so much.
Thank you.
Love everything that you do on a day-to-day basis, and and all of the love and energy and the time that you invest in, not only into yourself, but into others. And I really value that. And I thank you from me and the Vibe team. We just want to say thank you, and we're wishing you more blessings and more success with everything that you're doing right now and everything that you're going to be doing in the future. Thank you so much.
I have enjoyed this. I can't believe how much time has passed. I've enjoyed this. Thank you. Thank you for your questions, your insight, your wisdom. I appreciate it.
You got to come back on here anytime that you coming back on here anyway. You coming back on here anyway, because we got so much other stuff to talk. We got a lot to talk about. We got to do this thing in chapters. Whenever the music is releasing, I would like to be on the exclusive list.
Got it, baby.
Pump that stuff and put that stuff out there. Whatever you promote and whatever you got going on, we would love to be a part of helping promote and whatever you need to put that out there. I want to give a couple shout outs before we get out of here. Shout out to Sunshine. Thank you for showing my special guest so much love. Shout out to Mr. Lawton TV. Thank you for showing so much love. Shout out to Tracy Clifford. Shout out to Malika Torrey, Joe Torrey, and God Torrey's sister. Thank you so much for pulling up to the show. Shout out to I Am Love. Shout out to I Am Love. Shout out to VIBESHOW Casper. Shout out to One Body. And let's see, shout out to Sean Zarelli. Shout out to Sean Zarelli. Thank you for showing my special guest so much love. Shout out to Mama's Cocktail Hour. Shout out to Mama's Cocktail Hour. Thank y'all so much. Shout out to Roman Stewart. Thank you so much. And everybody else who was on the live who may have got off, we thank you for any time that you invested in showing love to my special guest, the very lovely, the one and only Rhonda Ross. Listen, for anybody that's on here that is not subscribed to the Vibe Show 97.9, please hit that subscription. Turn on those notifications for more exclusive interviews. You guys make sure right now that when y'all get off of here, y'all go right over there right now and log on to www.therhondaross.com. Y'all go log on over there. Everything is over there to select. You can check out everything that she has going on right now. Y'all stop playing games, get connected, and let's. Again, thank you so much. And listen, make sure that you continue to be safe and protect yourself while moving around and doing the things that you need to do. Tell mama and the rest of the family I say hello. We love them. Much love. And I can't wait to get you back on here again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's the Vibe Show 97.9 with my special guest, the one and only Rhonda Ross. We love y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening and be safe. We out of here. Love.